Mrs. George Currie.
The day is Wednesday, the 28th of March, 1962. The time is 10 minutes after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are in the home of Mrs. George Currie at 2 Currie Crescent, West Palm Beach. Is that right?
That's right.
Mrs. Currie, when did you first come to Florida?
I came to Florida in 1896. I left my home in Michigan the night of the election of President McKinley.
Oh.
And when we got to Hammond, Indiana, we learned that McKinley had been elected.
Who were your mother and father?
My father was G.A. Angevine, and my mother was Marion Angevine.
And why did they come to Florida?
They didn't come.
Oh, they didn't come. You came yourself?
No, I came. I had a stepsister.
I see.
And her relatives were the Dimmicks.
I see.
And an aunt of hers was here, and she wanted her to come to Florida.
Oh.
So she came down and met the man that she married. So after she came, she got homesick, and they sent me down to keep her company.
Who was she?
My stepsister.
What was her
She
name?
was Mrs. George L. Branning.
Oh.
He was the first cashier of the first bank south of Titusville
Was it here in
Palm Beach.
And how did you manage to get here? What means of
We
transportation?
came on the train. Came on train.
All the way through, huh?
Yes.
The railroad was down as far as West Palm.
Oh,
those
yes.
days.
And my first observation from coming down east coast of Florida was the dead orange trees. It was right after the big freeze in 1904 and 5, when the orange trees were all killed, and the people had no money and to take care of them and to start them again, but they did afterwards, of course.
This was in the more northern part of the state. They had oranges
Yes,
then.
yes, they did.
How old were you when you came here?
Oh my! I was in my 20s, early 20s.
Had you been a school teacher in Michigan?
I had taught some up there, yes.
How'd you get into it here?
Well, I came, how was it? My stepsister and I started to go back to Michigan one summer, and we turned around when we got to Georgia and came back. And my brother-in-law said, there's a teacher's examination. Why don't you go up and take it? So that I just reached here the night before, and I went up the next morning and took the examination.
Where was that, at Titusville?
No, right here.
Here?
Here.
What made you turn around the Georgia line?
Well, I don't know. My sister went up to visit her husband's relatives and decided to come back instead of going on to Michigan.
Well, this was West Palm Beach's great gain, wasn't it? The fact that you came back here.
Oh, yeah.
You taught school here for how many years?
Well, that was I commenced in 1897, I guess, and I guess about 8 or 9 years.
Did you teach all classes in one classroom?
No, I just taught the primary. I taught the first 3 grades at first, and then as the school grew and they had more room, they divided it. There was a 2nd grade room and 3rd and 4th.
How much did a teacher make in those days?
About $40 a month.
And what did your board and room cost you?
Well, I lived with my relatives, and it didn't cost me much.
Well, you were ahead, weren't you, huh?
Oh.
Some of the teachers spent a good part of their pay in their board and room.
Well, that was cheap, too, in those days. It wasn't very expensive.
Food was cheap, too? Food was cheap?
Yes, compared to what it is now.
Do you remember what things like steak and flour and sugar and coffee cost?
Well, round steak was about 20 cents a pound. And I don't remember that sugar was any cheaper. It seems to me we always got 10 pounds for $1, which would be about the price of sugar now, I guess. And bread, of course, was 5 cents a loaf, and it's quite a bit more now. The schoolhouse that I taught in was where Cress's store is now.
Oh.
And it was just a 2-room schoolhouse at first. It was built, and then afterwards they finished up the upstairs rooms and had 2 more rooms up there.
Was that the consolidated school?
It was after a while. There was a school at Palm Beach and one at Mangonia, and they decided to consolidate the schools, and the pupils were brought from Mangonia by boat. The Rowley brothers, Stuart and Julian Rowley, used to be the captains of the boat. They took turns, and either one of them, they would leave Mangonia and go over to Palm Beach and pick up the pupils there and bring them back to West Palm Beach here. And the children had to come up on the dock, walk on the dock, and so some of us teachers were delegated to meet the boat to see that the children came up safely, and that always amused the captains because they thought they were just as capable of taking care of the children as we were, because we couldn't swim if any of them fell in.
Did the youngsters cut up on the boat as they do on the buses now?
I don't imagine they did. I think they were very well disciplined by the captains.
And kids in school were comparatively easy to handle, were they?
Oh, about like they always are, I guess.
Did you have any star pupils in your classes?
I don't know that any. I taught Judge Chillingworth. I taught Edward McKenna, who was postmaster, and Stetson Sproul, who's now the county tax collector, I believe. And the people like that, as they grew up. And one girl that became a singer, I don't know what ever became of her, Doris Doe.
Did children learn well in school in those days? Did they learn well?
Well, I think so. Yeah, I guess about the same as they always have. Of course, they have different methods now. Everything is so advanced. The methods of teaching and everything are so different.
But you think the original methods were satisfactory?
Well, I think the children got along very well.
Did they bring their lunch to school?
No. Oh, no. No, it was just a small town, they could all go home at noon.
Except those who lived across in Palm Beach.
Oh, yes, they had to bring their lunch.
And then later, was there a horse-drawn vehicle introduced to bring them to school, or did they?
Yes, that was, as the country grew up, and people settled in the country, they had horse-drawn vehicles, little carriages, or what you might call them, to bring them in.
What about a school teacher's life outside of a school? This must have been quite an exciting thing for you to arrive in the middle of a pioneer area at age 20 or so.
Well, I was very much interested in the trees, the palm trees, and the white sand, and the lake, and the means of transportation. There was no horses and carriage to speak of, which we had at home. It was all by boat on Lake Worth, and that's the way the most of the people got around. That's the reason the homes were all built along the shore of the lake, because that was the way they could travel.
Were there dances for young people in those days, or picnics or anything?
Well, there were boat rides and picnics, yes, we had, but no, I didn't attend many dances because my brother-in-law and sister were opposed to dancing, so I didn't.
Oh?
I didn't dance.
You had to wait till later to learn to dance, huh?
Oh, I had learned in Michigan, but
Oh.
I didn't practice down here.
How about the clothing of the time? Where did the clothing come from?
Well, we bought the material, and most of us made our own clothes.
Did they have patterns?
Yes, Butterick patterns.
Nobody did their own designing, huh?
Well, I don't know. My stepsister was quite a seamstress, and she could design our own clothes, fashion things a little different from the ordinary.
Was the cooking different, much different then than it is now?
Well, to me it was new. I had never heard of grits before, and I was very fond of grits, and I don't know, it was just about the same. Of course, Southern cooking is a little different from the way we cook in the North because we have different things to cook.
They used wood in the stoves, huh?
Here?
When you came?
Well, yes, or gasoline stoves.
Oh, they had gasoline too. Huh?
Hmm. I think my sister had a gasoline stove. I know she didn't have a wood stove. But I had one after I came here to live. I had a wood stove and then a gasoline.
Is it harder to get to understand a wood stove?
No, there's not much to it.
No.
Quite simple.
How about church life? Did you enter the church life here?
Well, I did. I joined the Methodist Church. I never had joined a church before, but I don't know, after I married and I had a busy life, seems to me there was always company dinner for Sunday, or else we were going someplace, and I sort of dropped out of it.
Did you stop teaching when you were married?
Yes.
What was the progression of the schools from the little one-room or two-room schoolhouse? What was the next step after the one over here? After the first small school here? What happened to the school system then? How did it grow?
Well, about the time that I left teaching, they were building the schoolhouse, the big central school on the hill there.
Oh.
And it was finished in about 1909. And I expect it was that school started in 1909 up on the hill. And it was so far out of town that the people said all the children would have to cross the railroad track and they'd get killed, and the alligators would come up out of the swamp and devour them, and the town would never grow up to the schoolhouse.
This was in 1909.
1909.
How long was it before they had a high school in the system here?
Well, that was just what I was thinking this morning. I called Mrs. Dean. I interrupted your call with her. Mrs. Lyman thought that the children had been brought from these other schools to attend a high school here, but I don't remember that there was. Yes, there was. They were teaching, had a high school before 1909 when they had the 4 rooms. Then one was a high school. They had a high school.
One room was dedicated to a high school in that 4-room school downtown.
I think it must have been, yes. And before that, though, the high school pupils had gone to Stetson and Rollins when they finished the 8th grade, about that time.
As you look back on your life here, Mrs. Currie, what one thing do you remember most vividly?
The 28 hurricane, I guess.
Oh, really?
And that was the most terrifying thing I've ever lived through.
Did you have any advance warning of it?
Oh, we knew that the hurricane was coming, but none of us had ever experienced anything like that before. Just a hard blow was a hurricane, but we hadn't lived through anything like that, or I hadn't anyway. I think some of the older settlers had, way back, I don't remember what year, they had a quite hard hurricane.
Did you take any special precautions?
Well, I closed the shutters. We had old-fashioned shutters, but they were not in very good condition. They blew off and broke the windows and weren't very much good at that time.
Flooded badly?
Not much. Well, the water came through the roof, poured down here like rain. But after the storm was over, I had a roof over me, which some people didn't have. It was a shingle roof, and it didn't blow off.
What about water supply? Did the hurricane affect your water supply?
No, we still had water.
There was a water system here?
Oh, yes.
Didn't have to collect it in rain barrels?
No.
And I suppose everybody had a good
Well, I
deal...
don't know. It seems to me that that there was trouble. I don't know what it was. I know I had a pump, and some of the neighbors would send their children here to get water. So I don't remember what was the trouble with the pumping station. It might have been electricity, that no power to do the pumping with. That might have been the reason. I just don't remember
I
that.
suppose in those days every home had a good supply of food on hand anyway, didn't they?
I think so, yes.
Was there a lot of canning done?
We had canned food, I know, and my nephew in Miami told the Red Cross that he had 3 aunts up here, and so he filled his back seat of his car full of food and came up, and we didn't starve, although we didn't have anything to cook it on. We had to cook it on one of those little stoves like that.
What was the first car you remember in this area? What kind was it?
Well, I suppose it was a Ford. It was just a little buckboard. Mr. George Potter had it. He had a Grove out west of town, or it's be in town right now, and he used to ride out there. Had it to ride out to his farm.
Yeah, Mrs. Fred Miller told me about it. I believe they used to have a little difficulty getting it up the hill sometimes.
They probably had to push it up sometimes.
That's right. That's right.
Well, then later my sister moved. My brother-in-law was always wanting an orange grove, so he bought some land out that way and started an orange grove, and I used to ride my bicycle out Belvedere Road over the hill and through the palmetto bushes to their house.
On what, Shell Road? Shell, was it?
Yes, oh yes.
I was noticing on Olive Street today there's still a good deal of shell in that macadam surfacing.
Olive Street. Well, that's what it was at first.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they just poured tar over the shell when they hardened up that street. Took quite a while to get a full road system, though, didn't it?
Oh yes, yes, it was quite a long time. Well, we didn't have much need for a road that was until automobiles came. I guess that was the reason all over the country that they started making good roads. As I remember at home, we didn't have anything but sand roads, except in the towns.
How about the Indians? Did you have anything to do with Indians?
Well, they used to come by selling huckleberries, and they never told you how much. I guess they couldn't speak. You took some huckleberries and paid them what you thought they were worth.
Oh.
They didn't have any price on them.
No trade and barter, huh?
No. But it was nice to get the huckleberries.
They behaved themselves. There were no problems with Indians.
Oh, no. Only they tried when they came in. They used to say if a number came in, one of them would always stay sober, so as to see that the others didn't get put in jail.
That's nice of him. They acted up when they got a little looped, huh?
Well, that was the only time they had to get
Did
fire
they
water.
How much of a police force did they have in those days? Speaking of jail.
Well, now I can't tell you about that because I know so little about it. I really don't know what there was.
Did they have a volunteer fire department?
Yes.
I suppose all able-bodied men belonged to that.
Well, I guess so. I was just looking at something about it in there. I have this Lake Worth historian.
Oh, yes, I've seen. Mrs. Enos showed me one of those. Matter of fact, she gave us a copy for the Historical Society. I read that. It's very fascinating.
I think Mrs. Dean gave Judge Knott one of them, too. Her husband published them, you know.
That's what she said, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then I have another book. I think she's the only one that has one in existence. It was published later, but it has a lot of information.
Oh.
And I may give it to Judge Knott, unless my children want to keep it. I don't know whether they want it or not.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it for the museum. What is it called?
I don't remember. I can get it.
Oh, don't bother.
Well, this was the Lake Worth Historian, and that was published later. It was published later than this, but it has some more information in it.
Well, Mrs. Currie, I want to thank you very much for talking to me. You've been very interesting.
Well, I hope what I said will be of some interest to other people.
I'm sure it will.
I don't think that my chatter is very...
You're just being modest. I'm grateful to you.